Let's play Madden NFL Arcade.
Hello, MrCrackersNJam here, and today I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of Madden NFL Arcade. I'm just going to play a quick play now match. And we're going to do 2010/2011 season Super Bowl, Packers and Steelers. See, standard control scheme. There's two control schemes. The standard control scheme and the arcade control scheme. The standard control scheme is the controls usually used in Madden, recent Maddens, Madden 9, Madden 10, Madden 11, Madden 08, maybe Madden 07. Whereas the arcade controls are slightly different. Now, this game is a really easy game to pick up and play because there's only 4 plays you can choose. It's a categorization of plays, and within each category there's a couple plays that it picks at random. So you just pick the kind of play you want, which is easy for anyone to understand. Then it'll pick one play that corresponds to your choice, making this a very easy pick up and play game, which is good and bad because someone who's been playing it for months could be just as good as someone who's been playing it for a couple hours. You know, it's not great. Certainly, if you play enough, you will be able to outdo people who just start. And this game introduces little power-ups called game changers, and these can really just turn the game in an instant and give you a big boost. And they're randomly selected. Sometimes none are even selected, but it's random what you get and whether you get anything or not in the little boxes at the top of the screen. Right now, I have one called Entourage. You hit LB to activate it, and now I've got all my linebackers making plays like running plays much more efficient. Which is good because, to my disappointment, running plays really don't do that much in this game. You can't do very much with them. Now, the Packers are using a game changer called It's Alive. With It's Alive, passes will be incomplete and they will be counted as a fumble. What it says is that it makes it so if a pass is incomplete, it will be counted as a fumble. But along with making incomplete passes a fumble, it also makes it so every pass is incomplete. It's impossible to catch a ball if the other player is using It's Alive. So that's kind of frustrating since it doesn't say that in the description. But nonetheless. So, in this game, they took on a bit of an arcade style, or a more like animated style of graphics. I'm not a huge fan of the real anorexic bodies, kind of weird, but it's fun to look at. The graphics are pretty cool. And, if you look at the players' faces, like in Madden 10 and Madden 11, the players really looked like they actually do. But that's not so much the case with Madden Arcade. Skin color, of course, is right, but besides that, there's really no resemblance. That I could find, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I've seen of the faces, they don't resemble it. When you get a touchdown, you can choose one of 2 options. You can take an extra point, which is an automatic 1 point. You don't have to kick it. It's just automatically added. Or you can go for the 2. And this game is not played, like 4 quarters, anything like that. It's played to a score limit, which is set to 30. Some score limit numbers, such as 30, make it so that if you get a 2-point conversion a certain amount of times, you'll need 1 less touchdown than you would otherwise. putting you a step ahead of the other player if they don't know that, or if they just simply weren't able to get the 2-point conversions, which gives you a big advantage when you can win the game in a whole one less drive than the other person. That's a big advantage. And I just used fumbleitis. That makes it so pretty much every time you tackle someone, they're gonna fumble. That goes for you too, though. So as soon as you get it, you're gonna fumble too, as soon as you're tackled. So you want to get out of bounds. And that's the thing with every game changer. There's usually, with most of them, there's a way to avoid them really affecting you. So like for fumbleitis, you just run out of bounds. Is the most efficient way to do that. Whereas other game changers are so useless that you don't even need a way around them, such as triple threat. There's really no point to that. All it does is it makes it so you throw 3 balls. It does very close to nothing. And the game changer the Packers have right now is called Flying Blind. And that game changer makes it so you can't see the buttons that correspond to the receivers. And I mean, that also does very little because, I don't know, maybe it's only a select few people, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure pretty much everyone knows what player corresponds to what button. You'll know after not very long of playing the game. And the running back's like always open, so if you see someone wide open, you know it's why. And the only time that really comes into use is if they're sitting back looking for a deep option. Everyone's just running around and eventually their positions get all mixed up. Then you might be a bit confused as to what button corresponds to what player. But otherwise, that's one of a couple that does pretty close to nothing. And I'll give a fair warning to anyone who decides to play this game. 2 really cheat things in this game are a game changer called flip-flop, which flips the score. So if you got like 28, 2 more points and you win on a game to 30 and the other player has 0, and then they get a flip-flop, boom, they've got 28, you've got 0. And those are just, that was a terrible choice for them to put into this, I think. And the other thing is that scrambling gets you a lot of yards. If you just sit back for a little bit, then scrambling's gonna make the game just, against a computer anyway, it makes it really easy. And online, you can just destroy most people with it, so, and really tick them off. So those are 2 notable things that really take away from what is otherwise a pretty enjoyable game. Granted, when you're playing just with a friend, stuff like that's just more good fun than it is aggravating. When you're playing online, you're playing to win. That's the problem. So, 20-0. We'll go for the 2-point. And you can turn the game changers off. You can change them off, and you can change where you start off. So, like, there's not first down in this. You can't get first downs by advancing 10 yards, or there's no penalties either. It's just, you've got 4 plays to advance down the whole field, and this is a field of 60 yards. And in the options, you can also set where you start, how many downs you have, and the difficulty. So you can really make your experience really easy, or, well, you can make it really easy, but I have to admit, all Madden on this just isn't that hard. It's a challenge that I wish there was a challenge, but there's really not much of a challenge against the artificial intelligence in this game. So if you want a challenge, you're going to want to go online. And that's where you'll get your kicks. As I said before, the running back is almost always open for the first couple seconds, so that's another thing that I hate, that I'm almost always throwing to my running back. Just because they're open. The other players barely ever get open. So, making one player always wide open and the other two almost never open, it really gives the game a shift to that one player that just really takes away from it. And it makes it so people will be like, okay, well, I'll send a guy to cover the running back. And that leaves one of the wide receivers or a tight end wide open. And it's just, there's problems with this game, but it's fun. Not gonna lie about that. So, since I wasn't able to get 2 consecutive 2-point conversions quick enough, I'm not gonna be able to get that one drive less that I was shooting for. So, I just took the extra point. See, I'll try to go cover this running back. It's just hard. It's hard to cover. I personally, I don't usually cover. I usually play linebacker because I'm not that great at covering. And use turbo, makes things go super fast. And I also have a power up to make the game go really slow called molasses. Oh, and now I've got entourage. Entourage is a very good power up, in my opinion. I love entourage. Not when people are using it against me. It was a good idea. Yeah, there we go. Entourage against me. I got my bonus play there. I've got still 4 downs to make it down the field. But this is, a good halftime game. It's halftime in the middle of your game. Just come down, play some Madden Arcade. And this game is available on the Xbox Live Arcade and the PlayStation Network. So, not on the, it's not WiiWare though, for you Nintendo fans. You're not going to be able to get your Madden Arcade. Here I'll show, when you're just a couple yards out from the end zone, running it into the end zone with your quarterback is just ridiculously easy. Just like that, every time. And since you can see who the other is playing as, you can just run the opposite way as them. So, yeah. Thanks for watching my Let's Play of Madden NFL Arcade. And now that you've watched the Let's Play, watch the Madden NFL Arcade review on my page to get my full analysis on what I think about this game. So, thanks again, and goodbye.